Hello everyone, my name is Hilda and welcome back to my channel. Or welcome if you're new here. It is February, meaning finish it February. I didn't come up with this. It's a thing that's been around in knitting and crochet and I assume sewing communities or just like any crafting communities. But basically you take all the projects you're working on and you try to finish them. I think this is great because I am one of those people who gets like the idea of, oh, I want to knit this, and then I cast it on. So I end up with way too many ongoing projects. And some days I have like it's not really project paralysis, but I can be a little bit overwhelmed deciding on which project I want to work. So I'm not casting on anything new this month, and I'm just gonna finish what I'm working on. So I have, as you saw from the little clip before this, quite a few projects, and I did finish this color yesterday. So that's one down. Initially, I had knit this the same way I have knit my brown one, but I had used completely different yarn, yarns, and it came out way, way, way too big. Picture here. So I did wind up, I frogged it and wound up all the yarn all neatly and just cast it on again and redid it, which I'm not entirely sure, does that count as casting on a new project during finished February or just like redoing something you were working on? I'll leave it up in the air. It's a gray zone, I guess, but it's a finished project regardless. And it took very little time, so in the end of in the grand scheme of things. First up, this is something I've been working on since last year, which goes for pretty much all of these. And this is a scrappy Garterabis shawl. The Garterabis is a pattern by Stephen West. And I've knit several in various sizes because I just love that shawl pattern. I love shawls, and this is just so easy to knit and it looks so nice. I will have a finished one up here so you actually know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I literally took all my scraps, like all of my little bits of leftover like this, and started knitting. And I also had like two random skeins of Langyarn's Merino 150 Dégradé. Like this is one. And I just chucked them in here because I don't know what other project I'd use them for. Admittedly, I got this skein for something else, but it was just not suitable for what I wanted to use it for because the yellow does not match. Because I want to knit another shawl in this because I have a lot of skeins. Beth gave me a lot of them for Christmas, and this is Hobby Universe XL, but I also have the regular Universe. In the color Pollux. So I want to knit another Garterabis, but, and I've mentioned this in other videos as well, but just in case you're new here or haven't seen those, if you knit a Garterabis in acrylic yarn, you can't block the batwing points into it. It doesn't stay. So what I do is I tend to knit like 4 or 5 or 6 rows, depending, in an actual wool, like a merino or a cotton, because that works as well. Or if you have like cotton and cupro, that works also. But I think cupro is like the cellulose fiber of cotton. Anyway, I digress. But if you have like a yarn like that, it will hold the points. So I got this beautiful color, but then there's a lot of yellow in it and there's no yellow in Pollux. But it was fine because it really matched these colors. So yeah, I just continued knitting with that, and no fall, no lost purchase because hey, I'm using it up already. Then I'm just gonna like grab them by the easiest of grabbage. This is the easiest within reach. This is a pair of arm warmers I'm knitting for my friend Valentine. One of her favorite colors is teal. I've knit her another pair and they were completely in mustard. But the thing is, I had gotten these 3 skeins. This is Langyarn's Merino 120. Don't ask me what colors they are because they all have numbers. And if I can find them, I will have them up on screen. But I haven't been very good at writing the numbers down. So so it's kind of hard to find out now. But yeah, so these are the colors of, well, mostly, sort of Tatsumaki of One Punch Man, which is my husband's favorite anime character. And I used to have them in cotton, and I used to like knot these little bracelets. But yeah, he's not very good at keeping them nice and not like ripping them so they don't stay on anymore. So I said, okay, what if I just knit you a little bracelet, like just 6 rows of 2x2 rib? And I did, and he liked it, but I don't know what he does with them because I don't have that problem. But they became like super stretchy very quickly and just didn't look nice. Or maybe it's because this is quite soft yarn. And I use different yarn for mine, so that might be it. But then I said, like, okay, what if I try to make this on the acorn maker? Because if you know me, you know I detest making acorns. So I have this acorn maker by Prim, and I was trying to change colors and switching colors, like kind of like you would when adding a new yarn without knotting it, and because the acorn maker does not do knots. And I realized very quickly that if your yarn is thin enough, you can just hold yarns together. So what I did was I went to my local yarn shop and I bought some and ordered in more. Some Lang Yarns Merino, I think it's called 400 lace. It might also be 40 lace, but it's basically this, but way thinner. And I think this is like slightly different color, but these are like the same colors. And I got those, and I will have a picture of his armful of bracelets, of his arm party right here. And I made a thinner one with two threads because I didn't have the third one at that point. I picked it up yesterday. But I was left, long story short, I was left with these 3 skeins. And then, of course, I asked my friend Valentin, do you want another pair of arm warmers? Because, you know, I have all these skeins, and I'm this is the one, and this is all I still have left. So I may have to make her 2 pairs. Valentin, if you're watching this, I really, really hope you enjoy these, because you may end up having 2 pairs. I don't know. Or like just one random spare arm warmer. So yeah, I will at least knit 1 more. So it will be a pair. This is the first time I did like all of these different colors. And, you know, instead of breaking the yarn every time, I just took up the float. So if you don't knit anything in several colors, this probably means nothing to you. But yeah, I did it differently, like you're supposed to do, I suppose. And there's very little tension issues. So I mean, it's nice enough to the point where I'm like, okay, I can give this to a friend and not be ashamed. And yeah, hopefully she'll enjoy it. And the other one too, which I will knit. I will say I can knit one of those in like half a day, so it's not a project that won't get finished. Now this, however, I'm not sure if this will get finished, because this is another Garterabus shawl, and this is a big guy, because I'm knitting this on 4.5mm needles, and normally you knit them on 3.75, not 4.75. So yeah, this is Scheepjes Wanderlust, and I think it's called Amsterdam, the colorway. I will have a correction up on screen because I have full skeins, so I can check. And my friend Claire gave me this yarn. Now, this is the second skein in. I did cake it on my old yarn winder, so the cake is a bit questionable. And also, the skeins just kind of love to explode. So this is my tip if you're gonna knit with them. Roll them into a ball or cake them if you have a yarn winder, because otherwise it's just a hot mess. But yeah, this is kind of giving me, with the hot pink and the purple, Cheshire Cat vibes, like steampunk Cheshire Cat vibes with the browns. I mean, this isn't steampunk by itself, but give me a moment when it's finished to style it, and I will make this steampunk. Like, I can do a steampunk Cheshire Cat Disney bound with this. Cheshire Cat is one of my all-time favorite Disney characters. I like both his like original coloring with the navy blue, but my preferred is probably the one that you see the most with like the hot pink and the purple. But I also really like the Burton one from Cheshire. Well, when he's named Cheshire in his live action movies where he's gray and teal. I mean, maybe I should keep whatever leftover teal and get some gray. If I have gray left over from Gandalf's arm warmers, which I want to knit later this year, yeah, that could be a thing. I can be like a mishmash Cheshire Cat or something for Halloween. We'll see. Yeah, so this is another project I've been working on, and it doesn't really mean anything right now. It's just a bit in the round. I will say it's an easy project to take along and just knit wherever when I'm out, so I can have conversations and keep my hands busy at the same time. This is a skein of that universe, that Hobie universe. This is the Excel in Pollux. Look how beautiful this is. This is giving me candy corn vibes, more or less. I mean, it's not exactly a candy corn, but it's giving me those vibes. And what I'm doing is, and you may all laugh, I'm going to knit a scarf, but the scarf is like a sleeve. And it will have like sleeve ends on both sides, obviously. So it's basically one long sleeve. And I saw a pattern for it, but it was like a pattern with like eyelets knit into it and stuff, and I didn't want that. It was also way wider and whatnot by Degen. So basically I saw it and I thought like, okay, I don't want to knit it like this because it also had like all sorts of I-cord detailing. And I was like, okay, I like the idea, but I don't like the execution of this one. So I'm gonna knit it myself. And I started 4 times and, you know, from the bottom up, so to speak. And that just didn't work out for me. And then I said, like, screw this. I'm gonna knit 2 separate sleeves and I'm gonna Frankenstein, like proper Frankenstein them together. And they're gonna be like, it's gonna be my insane Frankenstein-esque Halloween scarf. That is sleeves. So that's what I'm doing and I'm gonna stick by it. This is one of my beautiful redesigned project bags, by the way. I forgot the number. I will look it up. 100% recommend these guys. It is, I will say, a bit oversized for that project. So I might switch them out because this one is about to be empty. Hooray, hooray, hooray. This is the Hedwig top version 2 by Fabel Knitwear. Not Fabel Knitwear. Is it Fabel Knitwear? Now I can't really remember the name. I'm gonna hold it upside down because it is incredibly floppy, and if I hold it the right way up, as you can see, it won't work. It doesn't have straps in the back. Now, I will say I had some sizing issues with this, which was one thing. They're all very cropped, I feel, Fabel Knitwear patterns, and I don't really like my stuff to be very cropped, so I tried to make this a bit longer, but I'm under the impression that it didn't really work out. Now, this was supposed to be a seat stitch, but I knitted in garter stitch because I didn't feel like doing a seat stitch, and I like the look of it. The problem is also partly my fault because it's written for cotton, and I knitted in the yarn is called Fildar Rustique, and it is 65% cotton, 25% viscose, and 10% linen. But it tends to it has zero structure. Whereas cotton is quite structured yarn, this has zero structure whatsoever. So it just kind of like flumps, so to speak. And you can tell at the back. The back is like, there's zero stability. So what I'm gonna do, and I know this is kind of blasphemous, but I don't care. This is my top, so whatever. I have made this very, very long I-cord. This is made out of some leftover the Urban Pearl. I think it's called High Twist Lux Sock yarn. And this is the color Boudicca's Revenge. And it's actually the rest of Boudica's Revenge is in here. It's this stripe. This is also the Urban Pearl, but this is Cauldron. This is Boudica's Revenge. So basically I had made this and I thought like, oh, it could be like one of those cute, just I-cord neckties. But now I'm thinking, because this is so loose, I'm gonna pull this through and have one strap be this and one strap be completely contrasting. But because it, in theory, I may stand corrected at a later date. But if I run this through and have this like sort of in the back, I will have like contrasting straps, which will be fun when I tie them, it will give like a fun detail and it should keep the back up properly because I can just like pull it up. We'll see if it actually works, but I have high hopes. So yeah, that's at least what I'm gonna try. And once this bag is empty, I will move my other project in here, I think, because it's a bit more portable. And this is just from a couple of years ago. They gave these away at Sephora in summer. Usually around June, July, they give free makeup bags if you buy for a certain amount. So yeah, I got this at the Sephora in Amiens, in France, because we don't have Sephora in Belgium. So yeah, it's super practical. It's quite sturdy and it's very, very big. So I use it exclusively for knitting projects, even though it's a makeup bag. And I'll hold it up so you can see the print. I really like the flower print. I would have liked it more if it hadn't been big, but it was free. So yeah, then I have two more things I need to knit. One is I need to sort out our new curtains. We bought blackout curtains at IKEA for the bedroom because we need new blackout curtains and they need to be shortened. So we need to measure them and then I will shorten them and then we can put them up. And the old blackout curtains can come here in my studio or in the other room for guests because that's where the Murphy bed is. So yeah. I haven't been able to knit the sew though because I have busted this big old muscle in my back and it hurts like hell. Hele donders problems. So yeah. So yeah, I've not been doing a lot of stuff, including filming, because it's like one thing after another health-wise and it's no joy. And then I have to finish customizing a top, which I actually need to wear on the 23rd. So that I also will absolutely get done. So out of the 7 projects I have left. Well, I had 8. I finished 1. It's a 5th, so that's good. Then this will get finished, to be sure. This will get finished, and then one more will get finished. So whatever happens, I will have finished half, which I think is really good. It's an update. It's now Friday, February the 7th. And I finished this. This is the bottom. It's kind of cropped. So I have to wear it with a skirt that I either wear with a belt or that actually fits. Because otherwise, I mean, I don't think this will work well with suspenders. I just threw it over the top I was wearing, which is like this little knitted vintage style top. It's not the best combination, but I wanted to see if it would work as a sweater vest, a debardurke, as we call them. Not everybody calls them that in Belgium. Well, in Flemish Belgium, but lots of people do, and I do as well, because it's a fun word, debardurke. But yeah, I digress. I wanted to try this on something with a collar, and yeah, I think it looks quite fun as a sweater vest. I have done, like I said in the previous update, the I-cord back. I'm not entirely sure if it's gonna show. Can I turn around properly? I think that's something I need to ask my husband to film for me so you can properly see the back clip here. But yeah, so this was finished and I'm actually pretty glad with how it came out. I don't mind that it's an I-cord and an actual strap. I think it's fun. It's like super mismatched and I like that kind of stuff. It's just very random and chaotic and hilarious. But yeah, then I have another update for you guys. I have been knitting away on this garter abyss, my mostly scrap yarn garter abyss, and I've got finished this row of candied clementine. I've added in a bit of, I don't know how well you can see, the cream colored papillon. I think you can see it a little bit better here. But yeah, and I've knit up the entire yellow and orange skein of Lang Yarns Merino 150. I will have the number up on screen because I don't have actual names. And I'm now knitting up the second one. And I got an order in from Knitwear today. And I got more gay AF. It's very squish. Looks like this when it's caked up. This is like a little bit left over from a rainbow cape that I've knit. I will have a picture up on screen here. But yeah, so this is what it looks like caked up. This is what it looks like when it's a whole hank. There's more green in here. Let me see if I can show you. This is also UV reactive. I can't show you this because Joop is in the door frame. And if I turn on any kind of neon light, well, UV light, he will go bananas because of this guy. This has, I'm pretty sure it won't show up, but it has like these little neon neps in here in neon green and orange and pink and yellow, and they light up like you would not believe. It's like, and when it was still on the hank, because it was like a tiny 20 gram hank, he was like, he took it in his mouth and wanted to run off with it. And I was like, no, sir, this is not for you. So now I'm in doubt because I originally got this thinking like, oh, these little hanks, I can make like bracelets with them and arm warmers and just like cute little projects, which is why I like them. But then I was like, this actually really goes well with this. This is Pumpkin Spice by Wild Atlantic Yarns. And then like kind of an in-between color, but also if I were to break the yarn here, where's that skein? Yeah, so if I were to break the yarn here. Wow, words, Jesus. I can't speak most of the time, but sometimes my brain goes like, no, words, hearing, speaking, feeling, we're not doing this. Seeing also, big nope. No. I have an actual perception disorder. It's not a party. But yeah, if I were to break it here and add this in between, I would have like a bigger chunk of it because the farther down you get, the longer the lines get. And yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to Nina and see if I can get more of this because I really, really love this. I'd like to get like a full size hank if possible. So I'm gonna have to check that out because I actually really like this. I think this is Neon Neps Apricot. I don't know, but I will have the name up. I will look it up. That's a problem, isn't it? We're always like fiber arts people. We're always like, oh no, I should have like a yarn ban. I should not get more yarn. Oh no, I'm only using scraps and like leftover like skeins, like random skeins I have lying around for this project. And then you see another yarn, you're like, oh no, that would also be perfect. And then you have more yarn and the stash never really gets bust. So that's an issue. I need my bestie to come over because she's learned how to crochet and just like take some yarn off me. Charlotte, if you're watching this, please come take some yarn off me. And yeah, that's it for this update though. I will see you in the next one and hopefully I will have actually got another finished project by next week. But I'm making a dent in this garter abyss. I think it might actually get finished. It's only the 7th, so I'm pretty confident that I can get both the sewing projects done as well. So that's 4 out of 8 absolutely done. The second arm warmer will also get knit. So I'm pretty sure that by the end of February, I will have at least 5 out of 8 whips done. Fingers crossed that I don't get like really ill or don't get any like proper flare-ups where I can't knit. But I'm pretty confident that that is what is going to happen. And I think that's really good. 5 out of 8. We'll see. Wish me luck. It is now Sunday, February the 9th. Is it 9th? Yeah, it is 9th. I just checked on my tablet. Yeah, so I've knit up exclusively on this one since the last update, and I have now finished all the brown. So it is time to cake up this beautiful rainbow yarn. This is Gay AF by Knitwear. And I think I mentioned that in my previous update, but just in case. And yeah, so I'm gonna cake this up, and I want to do some rows with this. How many will be entirely depending on how much, well, how far it takes me, because these are now a great many deal of stitches. I don't know how many, I haven't counted them, and I'm not gonna, but many. So yeah, let's see how that goes. My disc is forever messy, but here's my yarn winder. This is just a Hobie one. I had an Opry one before this, and it was very poor quality. I mean, I managed, but it was just always a nightmare to use. And then I wanted to get a Clover one, but it was quite expensive. And then this Hobie one was a lot cheaper, and I think Bert even got it on discount, which is even better. But the design is exactly like the Clover one. So I'm guessing they might be made in the same factory in China. And this starts up a little, you know, stops and starty, but once it's going, it's going. And as you can see, the cakes are very, very nice. So I have zero complaints about it. So, and this here is my Swift. It's from our local yarn shop. I don't know what the brand is. I have a tube here. Yeah, no, it's just a plain tube, but the tube normally goes over it when not in use because of Joop, because he likes to come up here and stand there and just like chew on stuff. So yeah, I don't want another Swift completely destroyed. This is my second one, just like my yarn winder, because I originally had a brown wood one. I will have the name of the brand up on screen because I forgot. And it was rubbish. The second time I set it up, it already broke. And I used it for a long time, like holding it up, because the system where you slide it up. See if it... I can't really do it one-handed. Oh, yeah, no, I can. So that system, this little bit here, so to speak, was a different system. But that had broken, so I kind of slid it up with like a thick elastic that I had tied up, but it was just like a temporary fix, and it was a nightmare. So Bert got me this one for my birthday, and this is way, way better. So yeah, that is my Swift and yarn winder set up on my forever messy desk. I've got 2 more rows to do. Well, 1 more and then the bind off, I think. And Joop is keeping me company. It's my knitting buddy. Hey, Joopje. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna finish another shawl, and a big one. Look at that giant thing. And finish it February. Yay! No biscuits in the shawl. I think I'll do that brown border a little bit thicker. But still, it looks like I might finish it this month. And look here. Look how much space he still has. But no, he's kind of trying to push me out of the sofa. Yes, move please, sir. And also, I moved the swivel couch, it's a 1-person couch, it's a 1-seater, from downstairs to my studio because the cats keep on trying to push me out of my sofa. It's like the sofa bed. And yeah, they're not in there, but they did steal a crinkly paper bag, and this is Joop's IKEA alien, which he loves. But yeah, that happened. I was hoping that they'd sit in that. I've had this. This is like the corduroy 60s replica that they did from like a 60s collection. And I've had it for like 6 months, and it's already not comfortable anymore. And Joop and I often sat in it together, so I'd be like on this part and he'd be on that one. And this one has like sunken in completely. It's so not worth your money. Don't buy this. Don't. I will have a picture up on screen of what it looks like if I can still find one. But yeah, this is Sofa Hog Joop. Say hello to the people. It is now the second to last day of February. I think it's said that way. We would say voorlaatste dag van februari. So that's probably not helpful unless you speak Dutch. But yeah, it's February 27th. And I will just say, I have flippin' owned Finish It February. Because I started out with 8 projects. 2 sewing projects, 5 knitting projects. I added another knitting project. And out of those 9, I only have 2 left. So I finished 7. That's really good. And some of them were actually quite big projects. Now, I have no clue what I said in previous clips because it's been a while and I've battled a sinus infection in between like my last update, which wasn't real, and then this. So my brain is still a bit fuzzy. But yeah, I'm just gonna show you what I've done. And yeah, let's get into it. So I have my crew t-shirt. It was originally an actual t-shirt, but it was very, very oversized. It was a large, but it was more like an extra large, like a large, extra large. And I will say, this is such good quality cotton. It's very, very comfortable, very, very soft, but it is so thick. So when it warms, I overheat and I get really, really sick. So initially I had asked if I could take like the sleeves out and like widen the neck. And they were like, of course, because, you know, they were like, we don't want you to get sick, which is really sweet. I will say that the Comic Con Brussels guys, they also do Brussels Manga, and they also do Elftopia, Comic Con Holland, and Comic Con France. They're really, 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 really good when it comes to inclusion. Like even disabled people, like they really, really take care to do their absolute best to make sure that everybody is like comfortable and, you know, having the best time possible. That extends to their crew as well. But yeah, so I basically this year it still wasn't working for me because when it was like really, really warm, because like last summer at Elftopia, it was in the 30 degrees Celsius and I was absolutely boiling in it. So I figured I need to do something about this because a lot of the cons are like May and last, you know, October, summer. So I decided to just like completely take it apart and do it like really deconstructedly. And it is completely finished. I mean, I finished all the edges with bias tape, like jersey bias. And then I did this faux velvet ribbon because ribbons often slide off my shoulders. Unless they're like jersey, it seems to be better. But a lot of like, if I buy dresses or even make dresses, then the ribbons just kind of slide off a lot. So I decided to just make tie ribbons, and that works a lot better because they stay up. And I also did tie sides because this way, it's very easy for me to wear it over whatever. And I wore it last Saturday at Brussels Manga, like this picture up here. I didn't really tie the ties very neatly, so pay no attention to that. And I also hadn't tucked it in very well, so that's on me, not on the t-shirt. The thing is, like, now I can wear it over a shirt and it's cute. I can wear it over a long sleeve or a t-shirt and it's cute. And I can wear it over like a swim bra or like a bikini top in summer when it's super hot, and I will not overheat, and I will apply copious amounts of sunscreen because the sides are permanently open. But yeah, now it works really, really well for me. I was so comfortable. So yeah, that was great. And like big shout out to the guys who run the show and just allow people to be, you know, living their best crew life and just always being so kind and accepting of people with disabilities and doing their best so that they can like participate and just have a great time. And I really, really appreciate that. And also, I feel it's important to like emphasize these things because we often hear the bad stories and there's so much problems with accessibility is that I feel like it's also important to just state it when somebody is actually doing their very best. Is it perfect? No, because of course venues are still venues, but they try so hard, and shout out, and I'm waffling and I lost for words as usual. But yeah, so next project I have is this little collar. I actually had to start this again in February, but I had started it in January. That I had knit another one previously, and that one was with a completely different yarn, and it came out really, really well first time round. So I was like, just not thinking as usual, and just said like, I'll just do it the same way. So it was enormous. Picture. I think I've mentioned this before, but yeah, then I redid it, and this came out, and it's very cute, and it is a bit heavy, so it has more difficulty staying in shape very nicely. So yeah, I don't know how much wear I'll get out of it, some at least. And yeah, Joop has kind of like stolen this because he really loves it, and he likes to like sit on the sofa. Let's see if I can show you the sofa. I've moved this sofa to my studio so the cats can sit in that and not push me out of this one. It's a mixed bag so far. But he loves to like hold this and like knead into it, bake biscuits in it, and cuddle with it. So I'm just gonna put it back in the sofa, and then he can enjoy it some more. So even if I don't wear it, somebody loves it, and so it's not a waste of yarn. If I wouldn't wear it, I would just show it to you now and then unravel it later and use the yarn for something else. But as Joop really enjoys it, I'm not gonna take it away from him. Then I have finished these arm warmers, these slightly mismatched black and teal arm warmers. I have made these for my friend Valentine. I asked her if she wanted the same stripes or just thinner ones and have like slightly mismatched ones. And she was like, yeah, no, do thinner ones. So I did that. And yeah, super cute. She loves teal. It's one of her favorite colors. So I had some leftover from another project, and I was like, do you want arm warmers? Because, leftover yarn and scrap busting is bomb. Then I have a bunch of these guys. They're all knitted on my icord maker. I have these neon rainbows. I hope it shows up properly. And then I have actual rainbows. These rainbows are the Gay AF yarn wool by Nuteden. And I hope I pronounce this correctly. Nina, if you're watching this, can you send me a voice clip of how to pronounce your brand name, please? So I actually know. And this is some leftover Sachenmeier no Motta Bravo that I found in a box when I put other yarn away. So yeah, I figured like neon rainbows are fun too. These do not glow in the dark they're not UV reactive. This is hella UV reactive. I'll have a picture up here. And when knit up, they look like this when you wear them, when you tie them. So this is also a yarn by Nina. It's the Neon Neps Apricot, and it has like these little neon neps, as the name suggests, and they also glow under UV. And this is a Gay AF bracelet. I have also made Joop one. Well, he's just got the string. He's got a neon one. It's around here somewhere. But it's very cute when he has it. So, picture! Also, I'm not just gonna hoard a bunch of rainbow strings, so to speak. I'm gonna hand these out to friends. Yeah. But I better make more. Because at this point, I think I have like 7. Let me check. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I've got 7, so that's not a whole lot. So I want to make more of them. And yeah. Then I have the first finished, is this the front or the back? Garter Abyss. Like, look how fun this is. This is a giant scarf. I will very likely not have pictures, like proper pictures of this project and the next one, because it's, like I said, February 27th, and well, Bert has a day off tomorrow, but I'm not sure if we're gonna manage to shoot both shawls. Spoiler. But yeah, so Isn't this amazing? I love how this came out, and it is so, so soft. This yarn is Scheepjes Wanderlust, and I believe the color is Amsterdam. If it is not, I will have it up on screen. And this was gifted to me. I got 4 skeins from my friend Claire for my birthday. Thank you, Claire. And I used 2 to knit the shawl. Normally you knit a garter abyss, which is a West Knits pattern, by the way. Normally you knit it on a 3.75 millimeter needle. Well, needles. But I knit this on 4.5, so I only needed 2 skeins. It's not as long, but I don't mind. It actually, when I wear it, it's actually really, really nice. And the bottom, I just literally use scrap yarns. Let me try if I can show you. So this darkest brown is some Lang Yarns Poseidon. And then this lighter brown with the nebs in it is Wild Atlantic Yarns Donegal in hot chocolate. And it's the natural nebs because there's also multicolored ones. But yeah, so I still had like a little bit of leftover of both from previous projects. And I figured, why don't I just use it in this? Because this color, this Amsterdam, it's acrylic and you cannot block the points into acrylic. So what I like to do is I like to do natural fiber borders at the bottom in either, if you have cotton, if you have Lang Yarns, Siempre, which is cotton and cupro, but it's 100% natural fiber because if I'm not mistaken, cupro is like cellulose fiber of a plant. You'll have to do an internet search. -AI, always add -AI behind your search. Yeah, and then you'll know what cupro is because I forgot. So yeah, and that works really well. Cotton also does, but as this was like soft acrylic, I felt like a wool would be a better result than a cotton. So yeah, well, for this particular one, if I were to knit some other ones, I might actually add cotton. It will kind of depend on the yarn. And then this, I never thought I was gonna get finished because I was still waiting on 2 yarns last time we spoke about it. And I did. I finished it. I finished my scrap yarn abyss. I have no idea if this is the back or the front that I'm holding. So this is literally scraps and random skeins. And when I got like a mini skein of the neon nebs, I fell in love with it. And I asked Nina if I could get more. And she kindly dyed 2 full skeins of it because I want to use more of it because Joop wants a toy out of it. He's completely obsessed with it. And I'm so glad he cannot open my storage box where I keep my wool because there would be disasters. But yeah, I just love this so much. And I'm going to show you another project where I want to use this in as well. So yeah, let's see if I can remember all the colors I used. This little bit of yellow, which I used to start, was Honeycomb of Wild Atlantic Yarns. And whenever you order from Way, they give you like a tiny sampler and it's completely randomized. You never know what you're going to get. So in this order, I got a 4-ply of Honeycomb. So I used that first. Then the second color is the Urban Pearl. I think the yarn is called High Lux Twist, but I'm not sure. The next one is, so this is Cauldron, this is Queen Boudica's Revenge or Boudica's Revenge, one of the two. This is Maple Leaf by Wild Atlantic Yarn. Sunset by Wild Atlantic Yarn. This is Candied Clementines by Vilaine. Awesome name, by the way, because it's a pun on villain, but because laine is the French word for wool. So yeah, and then I've got 2 skeins of Lang Yarn 150 dégradé, like 1 orange and yellow and 1 orange and brown. Then I have Wild Atlantic Yarns. All the Wild Atlantic Yarns ones are Una, by the way, the Una base, and this is pumpkin spice. Then we have Gay AF, the Neon Nebs Apricot, and then this is because the Neon Nebs Apricot is slightly thinner, I use a Lang Yarns Merino 200 Bébé for the final border. And yeah, it worked really well. I got the points in nicely. I feel like the first time you block it, you don't am I in frame? Because it's hard to see with a big scarf in front of my face. But yeah, the first time you block it, I feel like the points are not as sharp as the second time, because you do need to reblock these guys after laundering. Well, after laundrying it, after you wash it in the laundry, you have to reblock these points. Well, not with all of them. I think I might be able to hang this up and put clothespins on the points with this one, because it's not as large. But I have another full-size one, so to speak, the first one I knit, and I've had to reblock that every time I washed it. Wow, we got there in the end. Yeah, so that is that. Thankfully, these are 100% wool. Well, I think some of the yarns have some nylon or some silk mixed in, but this is mostly actual wool, so it means that it doesn't get dirty very quickly, so I don't have to wash these very often. So that is to my advantage. But yeah, I am actually really stoked with how this came out. Also, I forgot to say, these little, do I have some in frame? I think I do. So these little flamey bits, so to speak, I've got them in white and I've got them in yellow, are Mondo Fil Papillon. And yeah, I put them in here because I still plan on at some point to knit like a Garter Abyss, but completely based on a Balrog's wing. And I know exactly what yarn I want to use for it. I'm just saving up for it because it's kind of pricey. Well, kind of pricey. I mean, I don't feel like your independent dyers are overpriced, especially not the ones like Nina and Kathleen from Wild Atlantic Yarns, Nina from Nuteden and Kathleen from Wild Atlantic Yarns, and many others like them. But those are just my two favorites, so I'm not gonna, they're my favorites. End of story. They do a lot of research on using like dyes that are as natural as possible. They have muslin-free yarn. They really, really look into it. To have, because Kathleen from Wild Atlantic, she has a lot of non-superwash as well for people who don't want to use superwash. So these people put in a lot of effort and they hand dye everything. So obviously it's going to be a bit more expensive. But it does mean that sometimes if I need a larger quantity, that I need to save up for it, like a lot of people. And that is absolutely fine. Nobody expects anybody to just be able to go like, oh yeah, I'm just going to spend like a couple of €100 on yarn, So I need to save up for that first. And I was experimenting on this one, how I like the little flamey bits to come out, the best, so to speak, because it's a each their own kind of thing, obviously. And I like it best when they're very sporadic and just like one row with like sporadic bits and then the second row going in and like emphasizing them a little bit more. Like I did, let me find one of those clusters. Because I did some in, yeah, you can see it here a little bit. Of course, this is the light one on a very light fabric, but of course. Yeah, so that is what I like best. So I'm gonna save up, get those yarns, and the advantage is that if I do it, I will have enough left to knit another project as well. So I could do a Balrog shawl and a Balrog capelet if I want, because I do still wear capelets a lot and I love them a lot. And I also have 2 skeins left of this guy, so I can knit a capelet out of that as well, which is most excellent. And I really look forward to that. And then, well, the other finished project is curtains. I shortened the bedroom curtains. We got new blackout curtains, needed shortening, and I left that quite a long time, but they are finally shortened. Huzzah! I will have a picture here. I don't think any of you care about my green blackout curtains, but they're super efficient. Even, during the day, you have like sort of the bit where there's light coming in. At night, pitch black darkness, even with those giant flare lamps. So Hardly recommend. They're also from IKEA, by the way. It's not like IKEA does shit curtains all overboard. They really don't. Now, another project I've been knitting on a lot because I was really going on a tangent about those curtains is this. I'm still knitting that sleeve shawl now. It's coming along nicely. This is the one sleeve, so to speak, and I would like to make it even longer because I want to be able to wrap it around once or twice and then still have like sleeve ends. Yeah, it's a self-striping yarn. I'm using Hobie Universe XL in Pollux. There's no custom, by the way. I checked. Yeah, so this is fun. I really like this yarn. It's very, very pretty. It's also very pleasant to work with. And even though there's like a strand of tinsel in there, it doesn't actually, you don't feel it when you wear it because I have another shawl out of it and it's very, very pleasant. So A+. Then I am knitting another garter abyss. Can't stop, won't stop. This is what I started somewhere along this month. I can't remember what day, but it's another garter abyss. This is Universe, just Universe, not the XL. Can't really show it that well because it's on the needles, but you've seen 2 other garter abyss this video, so you know what they look like. This is the skein. It's normally like this, but obviously a lot of it is here. I really love these. It's so pretty. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish these guys. And when I finish these, which will be Lord knows when, but I will continue finishing them. When I finish these, I plan on casting on, well, not necessarily this, because I like to take this along when we go out, because it's just like a really easy project. And it's just like in the round, so literally stocking it in the round, so that's super easy. But when I finish this guy, I want to cast on a cardigan for bed. I bought I believe it's the Garter Marler cardigan by Stephen West. We'll have a picture up on screen. And I bought, it's written in wool and fingering weight, so I'm gonna knit it in cotton because he wanted one that was more like for spring, summer. So I'm gonna knit it in cotton. I've got the cotton. I got 2 like fingering weight cotton, so we should be able to get the right gauge. So that should be fine. I'm gonna do that next, and I also want to cast on another Hedwig top, which reminds me. I want to re-knit this again because I like to wear them as a sweater vest rather than just a top. Maybe I'll knit one out of cotton at some point because it's a fun pattern and it's also easy to take along when you've cast it on. So it has that going for it as well. But I want to knit this in a wool because I have a lot of Schoppel Zauberbal Crazy left over. And I also have some leftover Wild Atlantic Yarns, the Niam, not the Una, the Niam, which is the merino and silk in pumpkin spice. I knit a hood out of it last year. But yeah, so what I want to do is I want to knit another one in wool and just wear that as a sweater vest. And also do the tie straps because for crying out loud, otherwise it just won't fit properly. So yeah, I want to do that to be sure because that seems like a really fun. And also like the yarn will be a lot stiffer, so it shouldn't be too different from cotton, I don't think. If it goes wrong, it'll be on me because I'm substituting the yarn. But at one point, I will knit one in a nice 100% cotton and have a nice summery top as well. One point, I want to do projects that I have the yarn for first. And then we'll talk about projects that I don't have the yarn for first because there's so many things I want to knit and it's not like I have a yarn shop in my house, far from. But I do have quite a significant stash, so there's a lot of things I can still knit with what I have. And I feel like I should be doing that first. Everybody does what they want, but that's what I want to do for me. Also, my local yarn shop is closing, so I will be buying more yarn, just like to stock up for future projects, whilst I still can, because I vastly prefer buying yarn in person from my local shop than, you know, buying it online. But again, no shade to people who buy online. It's your money, spend it however you want. I nearly forgot about this, but I also finished my sketchbook spread. This is from last month. This is up on my Instagram. It's 2 pages before this as well. But yeah, this is February. This is just a little outfit doodle. An outfit that I never ended up wearing, but I like doodling outfits. Then it's a little collage with Bert's and I anniversary picture. Our anniversary is on the 7th. And yeah, I used one of these notepads. This is from my friend Will's shop, October 31st. And it's fun. Greatness awaits. But yeah, so I did this little collage, made this little page. And yeah, and this is from when we went to visit the PBA. Pictures are on my Instagram. And just some more doodles. And then one more spread of more doodles. So yeah, not sure if it focuses well on everything. I'm changing the focus point a little bit, so hopefully this is properly focused. And for those curious, my sketchbook is a Maruman Glyphy, and the format is B6. I'm not sure they still make them. Also, this little yarn sample is this guy, the Nutedern Neonips Apricot, and it lights up under UV. Let me show you. See? It's my gay AF bracelet lighting up as well. It doesn't show that well right now because I have a studio light on, but you get the idea. And that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. There may still be more cats, depending on how cooperative they are if I want to film them. It's cats. I mean, it's kind of like hoarding them sometimes, you know? Fellow cat owners will know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I hope you really enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making this, so I think I might do more project diaries. Is that something you guys would be interested in? But it seems like a lot of fun to make, like just little updates during the month. And I could do one for the cardigan I'm knitting for Bert. And because it has a lot of techniques in it as well, so I could potentially go over some techniques, which could be good if you're a beginning knitter. I mean, I'm not gonna state that I'm so good at knitting or like, you know, especially talented, because I'm not. I just knit basic stuff because it gives me joy and it also doesn't force my wonky brain to focus too much on things. But anyway, let me know in the comments down below. What are you currently making? Are you also a fiber artist? I mean, even if you crochet or kneel bind or weave, I don't care. Let me know in the comments what you're making. If it's not a knitting project or like a fiber project at all, I still want to hear about it. How did you pair this Finish It February? Did you participate? This is not a competition, by the way. I mean, I'm proud of myself that I owned it, but even if you finished one project or if you didn't finish any but you enjoyed working on them, that's all that matters. Literally all that matters. Like I said, not a competition. You can be as proud of yourself as I am of myself with my accomplishment, just knitting and having fun and doing half a row or whatever, or just casting on, you know? That's all that matters. We're just here to have a good time on the internet, you guys. So, yeah, if you want to stick around, I want to go back to being more of a journaler as well. I have a backlog since last year. Halloween, I think. Oh my god. But yeah, I want to do like more different creative things, not just knitting. But yeah, if you want to stick around, hit that notification bell and hit subscribe. More than the notification bell, but do both. Hit subscribe and the notification bell so YouTube will actually, hopefully, tell you when I've uploaded a new video. I'm trying to be better at uploading more regularly, but I'm not gonna lie, you guys, my health is shit, and also some days I just want to sit and knit, and then I don't have time to journal and video, and I just need to get better at planning out my days. I should be like very strict on myself and be like, Monday is for filming and journaling because you have a yarn club in the evening and you can knit then. I should be strict. please hold me accountable. Leave comments and say, Mondays for filming if you enjoy my videos. Yeah, I really wouldn't mind if you would send me messages and say, hey, film a video. You'd do me a favor. Anyway, I've waffled enough. I hope I will see you in the next one and that you have an excellent day, and thank you for spending your time with me. Bye-bye!